Writers, you have written an information writing piece and you're probably feeling like you're nearly ready to turn it in. Before you do that, let me challenge you by suggesting you use a few other tools to take your writing to the next level. So first, you're probably familiar with the checklist. You have used checklists before in other grades and in other genres. Checklists are really helpful because they tell you exactly what you need to complete your writing piece. And if you look across it and you really follow it well, you'll probably do a pretty good job by completing the things that you know you need to do. But let's think about what will really take our work to the next level, that will really push us to do the very best that we can do. It might be a checklist, but it also might be looking at components across the progression. That's what I like to call it. So here's the rubric that I actually use to grade your writing. So what I've done is I've taken one component at a time, leads, transitions, and I've broken it apart so that we can see what it should look like, or what it usually looks like from 4th grade up until 7th grade. So if you want to make sure that a component is really, really strong, what you want to do is you want to first study your own work, looking at maybe one specific component, and then see where it falls. And then you'll say, what can I do to make it better? What can I do to make it maybe just at least one level above where it is right now? So let's study my lead and let's look closely here and see what I've already done. And that will help us to determine where I am and where I might go next. Fun things to do with cereal. Many people think that cereal is just a breakfast food, but cereal is way more interesting. It's way more interesting than pouring some Honey Nut Cheerios into a bowl and adding milk. Cereal is surprisingly versatile. There are so many fun ways that it can be used. Let's just think first before we look at the progression. What have I done? Well, I've told you what I'm going to be teaching about, like big picture, cereal and fun things to do. I've also told you a bit about why this is like interesting, because there's like so many different ways you might not even realize. And I've also given you maybe some example, like not really examples, but like almost like a hook. Like you might recognize Honey Nut Cheerios. You're like, oh yeah, I know that one. Hopefully that makes you want to read more. So let's see where I'm falling. The writer hooked the readers by explaining why the subject mattered. Yeah, I think so. I even probably could do a bit more of that, honestly. So you know what I might do? I might just write that down on a post-it so I don't forget. I probably could do a little bit more of saying like why this matters. What else? Let's see. Telling a surprising fact or giving a big picture. Yeah, I think I've done that. Like the Honey Nut Cheerios thing. It's more than just that. It's really versatile. There's a lot you can do with it. She let readers know that she would teach them different things about a subject. Yeah, I think I did. So I think that for the most part, I'm about a 4th grade level so far. I might just add one thing. So I'm going to make a note to myself. Let's see, maybe am I writing at a 5th grade level already, since I'm doing most of what's happening in 4th grade? The writer wrote an introduction in which she helped readers get interested in and understand the subject. He let readers know the subtopics that he would later develop, as well as the sequence. So that would probably mean like all of my chapters. Those are my subtopics: fun desserts, fun crafts, fun taste tests, cereal warnings, and then also set them in order. Did I do that in mine? No way. So now I know that I want to add subtopics to my lead and also the order I say them. And that makes me think if I'm not doing all of what's happening in 4th grade and 5th grade, I'm probably not doing what's happening in 6th grade. Let me just look just in case. The writer wrote an introduction in which she interested readers, perhaps with a quote or significant fact. Can't do that. She let readers know the subtopics that she would develop later and how her text would unfold, so the order. I didn't do that. So here's the thing. I probably can go to this and check off that I did a lead, because I did. But even though I'm checking it off, does it mean that I did a 6th grade level lead? No, not at all. That's why using a checklist can sometimes be a bit tricky. If you're not reading the directions on the checklist really clearly, then maybe it's best if you move over to a progression. That way, you can see exactly what you're doing and what you might do next by looking across and just focusing on one component at a time. So my challenge for you is to maybe pick one or two of these components that you feel like you've worked really hard at or that you are not sure are going so well or at sixth grade level. Maybe you try organization and you just check to see that you are following this all the way across. Because remember, organization is going to be more than just paragraphs. It's going to be pretty complex when you get to sixth grade. So are you doing all the sixth grade stuff? What about elaboration? That's a big one we worked on. Or how about craft? That's also something that we worked on a lot too. I recommend checking some of these out, looking at one component from the checklist across levels and seeing if you can make some final little goals just so that you take your writing to the next level, that you leave it all out there on the court or at the writing bench or work or writing desk. Don't walk away from writing before it's been pushed to the absolute farthest point that it could be pushed. I know you can do it. It's hard, but you can. I can't wait to see how high you lift the level of your writing. It's going to be great.